Well, Uganda's Supreme Court has upheld the re-election of President Yoweri Museveni in the February 18th national poll. The court rejected a petition brought by former Prime Minister and presidential candidate Amama Mbabazi. The Electoral Commission announced last month that Museveni, shown here, arriving for a debate, had won 60% of the vote to opposition challenger Kizza Besigye's 30%. Uganda's Minister of Information and National Guidance says it is up to Museveni and the opposition to heal and reunite the country now that the courts have spoken. Joining us now on the phone from Kampala in Uganda is reporter Grainne Harrington. Hi, Grainne.
Hi, Vincent.
Now, yes, first give us a reaction, especially by the opposition to this ruling.
Well, this case, the ruling in the case was not a big surprise to anybody. There were plenty of people in the opposition saying, well before the ruling came out, that it was going to be struck down. And that's because it's not the first time this has happened. The main opposition candidate, Kizza Besigye, he contested in 2001 and 2006, and both of those were struck down. So the reaction when the judges came out with this ruling was more on the merits of the case, because Amama Mbabazi is a former lawyer, formerly very close to the president, and he was expected to bring a very strong case. But his lawyers have argued that the process for bringing a petition is unfair. They had 10 days to prepare their case, which involved gathering evidence from all over the country. They say that was unfair. It's not enough time in a case like this. And had they had more time, they could have presented a stronger case. And the main opposition leader over here, the Forum for Democratic Change leader, Kizza Besigye, he said that at this point, nothing will legitimize the results of this election, which he is still calling a sham.
And indeed, that is what they call even the previous election results. But the question is, what are Ugandans saying? Are they bothered at all by this? Are they going on with their lives?
There's been a lot of talk about it in the media, in social media. It has been the talk of the town to a great extent. But there wasn't a huge surprise about this actual case. People are very much going about their lives, but there has been a little bit more tension in Kampala in the past, certainly since the election. There's a very strong police presence, and people are really feeling that. But I think at the moment there is a feeling that this election, it's happened on February 18th, and there is a feeling now that people want to move on with their lives a little bit.
So there were those who were expecting further chaos. It looks like that is not something to worry about.
Well, there has been a development today, in fact, in that, as I said, there is quite a heavy police presence in town, and Kizza Besigye, the FDC leader, who's really considered to be the main opposition over here, has been under de facto house arrest since the election. But there was an announcement today that the police presence that's been outside his home 24 hours a day since this election, restricting his movements and restricting who can see him, that is now being lifted. It hasn't happened yet. I've just come from his house and the police have not left yet. They said there'll be more news tomorrow. But that is a real sign that tensions are lifting, that the government and that the police feel that they want to put this election to bed and let the country move on.
Very quickly, does Besigye and you at his residence today seem to have any hope of changing anything anytime soon?
Well, there's been no sign of Mr. Besigye today because he's still in his home, and the people who are going in and out, we saw the party president, Mugisha Mintu, come in. He didn't speak to the press. There's a feeling now that they're so close to him just being released that they don't really want to say much. But what did happen is that while we were at his home, representatives of the youth wing of the leading NRM party, the ruling NRM, and the Forum for Democratic Change emerged together. So that was a sign that they were trying to move on.
Grainne, thank you very much. Grainne Harrington reporting live via phone from Kampala in Uganda.